Happy birthday, Hero Wars. Congratulations to Darren for day 6 of the skin giveaway sweepstakes. Darren, I know you're an avid watcher of the channel. Contact me over on Discord. We will get you your 5,000 free skin stones. All you got to do to win is be a Facebook or web player and leave a comment on this video.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and we are going to look at the Day 6 Archdemon, Demonel, whatever you want to call it, task here. So, Guardians, are you here to ask for another clue? So pathetic. On the other hand, I had a lot of fun watching you yesterday, so be it. Look for traces in fire. The Day 6 minigame, I believe, is over in Chapter 1, Rule by Fire. Here's the birthday cake down here next to the house. And then the present is hidden here in the trees. How this works is I like to choose all of this. And I had a question come up about why these are showing up as yellow. Well, these three right here are a signifier that this is the correct monster, but it's in the wrong place. So all three of these are the correct monster because, you know, it's right here. But these are in the wrong place. So only one of these is the correct one. So you change all the rest, and we're just going to run through this until we get it correct. We're still missing. Here's some Basilisk action. So the Basilisk is the far left. Switch over to the Lich, and there you go. Basilisk, Lich, Morboro. So there you go. There is the gift. And I was going to open, I'll wait until tomorrow to open them all at once. But in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about how to counter Helios. Now, Helios as a hero is a mage, very high magic attack, usually stands in the back line of a team, very close to the back line, if not the absolute back line. And not only does Helios provide a lot of magic damage because he is a mage with a high magic attack, but he also provides a counter component to critical hit heroes and critical hit teams. And we've covered this in a previous video when we talked about how to counter critical hit heroes. I'll put the video up in the top right hand corner right now. And if you're watching this and you're on mobile, this is a counter video for Helios on mobile as well. So the Flaming Retribution is the problem, right? This is the big deal. While the Solar Wind is active, each time Helios's allies get critically hit, the Flaming Sphere may damage the attacker with a fire beam. Now, this is a magic damage attack, and it does a lot of really small attacks very quickly, depending on how quickly your heroes are using their critical hits. A hero like Yasmin that does a lot of really small, really fast critical hits is especially susceptible to this guy. But anybody that does critical hits, you know, Artemis or anybody that's boosted by Jet and Sebastian, all of those heroes are effectively weak to Helios. Now, it is important to note that Helios, a little while ago, maybe 6 months or so ago, it is March 2022 when I'm recording this video, if you're watching this video in the future, Helios's cooldown for this ability was actually changed just a little bit. So the window for when the solar winds are up, this green ability right here, is a little bit less. I believe it used to be 14 seconds and now it's 10 seconds. I'm not exactly sure when that change took place, but I believe it took place on all versions of the game, both Facebook web and mobile. So during the duration of the Flaming Spheres is when the critical hit retribution damage happens. All right. So if you can time your abilities, your ultimates, your attacks, whatever, to not trigger while these solar wind spheres are up, then that is one way to avoid Helios as a counter to your critical hit teams. But that's not really a feasible way. I'm just not going to attack for 10 seconds every 15 seconds or so. That's not how you do it. The most prominent way that had been in the past of countering Helios was putting your damage dealer next to Dorian. Now, the cool thing about Dorian is Dorian has this aura, this vampiric aura that increases the vampirism of any hero within his radius. And I did a great video about team position versus team placement. I'm going to put that in the top right hand corner as well as at the end of this video, discussing the differences between Dorian's vampirism aura and Nebula's equilibrium boosts. All right. There are very distinct game mechanics that dictate how and where these buffs take place. So if a hero is standing next to Dorian, it is in Dorian's aura, he or she is going to gain vampirism. It doesn't matter if they don't have vampirism already, they're going to gain it. So one of the really effective ways to counter Helios is to have your damage dealing heroes, your Yasmins, your Kiras, your Artemis, etc., have them stand next to Dorian so that they heal faster than they die. This is an issue because Dorian as a healer is very far in the back line, whereas your Kira and other damage dealers could be pretty far forward. Yasmin and Kira are the most popular critical hit heroes right now. Daredevil is a very popular one on Hero Wars mobile, and you can kind of work with her a little bit, but it doesn't always work out that you can get a hero next to Dorian in order to keep them alive. So interestingly enough, Corvus is a nice little counter to Helios as well. You have this altar, right? And this altar is slightly different on Facebook and web than it is on mobile. This altar will counterattack with pure damage anytime any of your heroes take damage. So it works a little bit like this. Your Kira or Yasmin or whatever attacks the enemy team, and then the Helios's retribution damage spikes back, right? Trying to attack those heroes. The altar doesn't necessarily save your hero's life. It doesn't keep them alive like Dorian does. However, this will quickly do damage to the enemy Helios, potentially killing the Helios faster than it can kill your critical hit heroes. So this is a second, or I guess technically a third way if you want to count just not attacking during his spheres. This is a third way to counter Helios using Corvus. And Corvus fits very nicely into a lot of physical attacking teams because his ultimate ability will actually reduce the armor of the enemy's front line. So attacking heroes have an easier time chewing through the enemy tanks, the enemy tough front line, right? Very great tank for physical, offensive, very fast attack teams. I love Corvus, and I think he's going to be one of the best tanks in the next year or two. Now, the final way to counter Helios is with a hero like Isaac, or you could use Thea. Silencing the enemy team will silence Helios. That'll delay his ability to cast the Solar Winds ability. This could potentially give you a larger window to attack while not being damaged by the retribution attacks from Helios. So the way that Isaac works on Facebook and web, this does not work on mobile, by the way, is his ultimate ability will silence the enemy team. The thing about Isaac's green ability is if any ally takes magic damage, he charges faster, significantly faster. So the enemy Helios is hitting your team with magic damage, just peppering them, right? Big damage, small damage, whatever you want to call it. Not only is he doing his, his regular skills, but also the retribution damage. Presumably, you also have a hero like Orion or Faceless or another magic penetration artifact weapon hero paired with Helios, right, to boost his damage output, since Helios almost has no magic penetration at all. That mage is also attacking your team with magic damage, which is further speeding up Isaac's charge, because the more your allies are taking magic damage, the faster his charge goes. You could set up a situation where Isaac is constantly silencing the enemy team, and for the entire duration of that silence, Helios cannot cast his Solar Winds ability. So this will, again, like I said, increase the window that you don't take damage from Helios. So this has been 3, I guess technically 4 ways to counter Helios if you are building a critical hit team. If you're not building a critical hit team, then you really don't need to worry about it too much. But if you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like. If you're not already a subscriber, I would please ask that you would click that subscribe button. If you're looking for an absolutely free way to support me and the channel, watching this video to the very end is all you had to do. So if you've made it this far, I really do appreciate it. If you are curious how to counter critical hit teams, or if you are curious on how the Nebula positioning works or how the Dorian positioning works, I've got 2 videos on screen now that will explain how both of those functions work within the game's mechanics on all versions of Hero Wars, Facebook web and mobile. Please watch those videos if you've got some time. If not, that's fine too. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.